to the last chapter. And congratulations, even if you're not a dad right now. And you're listening to this just because you're curious and just because you think you might be wanting to be a dad at some point. I could tell you that the biggest component of all of this is the ego death and preparing and learning how to communicate honestly and effectively, kindly, be generous with your significant other. And if you're both helping each other through this thing and you both know that you're there, then you'll be good. If you focus on loving this child or children and you don't think about you so much, not that you should get lost in it, but there's so much joy to be had. Remember, this is of your own making, you and your significant other. Loving this shouldn't feel like it's outside of you because it's inherently you and your significant other. Loving this child or children is so important. It's so easy to crap on having kids, right? It's so easy to say, it's dumb. Why would you do that? Because of what I mentioned before. Most people want to live this life for themselves, and having kids is not that. Some people would frame it as if it's selfish to have children, and I inherently disagree. You're contributing to this world. You're taking on the mantle of sending some other soul into this world, to this game, to this arena. And depending on how well you do, you can endlessly negatively harm this world or positively affect it. Or maybe, middle ground, not really affect it too much, but you will affect it because your child or children will go out. They'll make choices. They'll engage with other people. Their choices will ripple out into this world, into eternity. And that's true. And you hold the responsibility to shape or to try and shape that impact. And make no mistake, their impact is a mirror of what you did or didn't do. And I don't know about you, but I take that very seriously. I've experienced, just like, most people, there's a lot of pain in this world. And as my child goes out there, as me and Amanda's boy or whatever future child goes out, I want them to be prepared as much as they can. To know that you can't truly avoid evil or terrible things or terrible moments, but you could do the best possible to affect good in those moments, to handle those things, to prepare. Being a father is a gift. It's a responsibility. And I think it's easy for people to throw that away because it's intimidating. It's hard to think that it's so important because then that fear creeps on in again. If you start thinking that this is the biggest deal and giving it the weight it deserves, then maybe that would crush you. But it shouldn't, because luckily, it's simple. It's as simple as doing your best and showing up every day and loving your children the best you can. That's all any kid can hope for. Is when they want to talk to you, you give them an ear. When they want to play, you play your heart out. You cook them food, you play games, you laugh, you share sadness, you share happiness. And I can't think of something more beautiful than that in this world. Of course, me and Amanda could have stayed childless, saved money, and did whatever we wanted. But we wouldn't be creating anything incredibly unique, you know. Nothing is as unique as a child. And there's no no more beautiful collaboration between two people who love each other than a child. I think that having a child is more complex than starting a new business, you know, because that child, you won't get paid, probably. Um, and a business, you know, I think of like McDonald's. It's a humongous chain, right? If you took away McDonald's, what ripple would that send out in the world, you know? I don't know. It'd be replaced. But you're putting something into the world that can endlessly create. And in this weird AI, I have no clue. I think it's another easy thing to decide to not have kids in this time. But I feel like it's always been that back in the day. The world was always ending. There's always a new crazy thing being invented as far back as you go. The reasons why you shouldn't have children, but it's up to you. And if you choose to have a kid, choose to take it seriously. There's a lot of good here. Changing diapers, come on, easy peasy. Easy peasy. You know, some people choose to not have kids, but instead get a dog or some crap. And they still have to they have to like pick up poop literally. It's like why would you sub a possibility of a relationship and children to just have a dog? I understand it's fear. It's usually it's fear and failure that beat us all down, you know what I mean? But anyways, I just thought I'd make this little series and put it out in the world because I don't know how many things there are about being a dad, or I just feel like a lot of people are crapping on men in general, and I'm on the other side of the fence. I was lucky enough to be born into a family that has a lot of strong men with strong women and a lot of love. So I've always been here listening to people, men and women, and loving people, and now that's all focused on Hemingway Hobart Straw. I hope any of this made sense. I hope you had a good time listening to it. And congratulations, or, you know, just have a good life, whatever you choose. Thanks.